That's nice. HT looking at 45. What up, Christian? Thanks for joining me. I'm doing a live stream for the close today. Going to see if that works a little better than a live stream at the open for some folks. So if you're joining me, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm actually going to post it in the Slack chat room. Those MJ stocks are pretty crazy, Christian. Pretty crazy, I will say that. Looking at CRM here. Looking at WHD here. Looking pretty decent right there. Yeah, let's take a look at some of those. A lot of them are down quite a bit. You've got Cron, which has been a huge gainer recently. Finally pull in on what is a news article by a short-selling firm. If you don't know who those are the people that short, and they put out research on why they want to short the stock. So yeah, I think we were talking today a little bit about possibly taking a position down here. I haven't taken any positions, but it could be a decent buy. We have a nice big bottoming candle, actually right there, and we're a little lower than that, but so far okay. So far not too bad here. Did you buy Apple like Bofez? I'm not sure what that's referring to there, Sanct. Not sure what you're talking about there, buddy. But I did not buy Apple, no. I don't trade in Apple. Not for any specific reason. I just think, I just don't. Oh, like Buffett. No, I am definitely not Warren Buffett. You don't find Warren Buffett on YouTube very often. But Apple having a little profit-taking day today, nothing outrageous. Good volume. You see the same thing in the Nasdaq. You see the same thing in Amazon today. Good volume up here, a little bit of profit-taking. Square having a tremendous rally the past couple of days. Just huge move up. And probably do a pause in Square, if not a bigger pullback. You can see pretty big volume there. Now, no major sell signals here. While this is the largest volume we've had for a little bit, it is not the largest price spread. We've actually seen larger volume over here. You can see the accumulation right there, and then subsequent continuation. Square looking very, very nice up here. Not good for entries by any stretch of the imagination. But if you have positions, then you have a fun decision. Do you take profits or do you wait for more? That's kind of where we are today. So for those of you new, I have two watch lists that I maintain. I actually added a third here of kind of potential ones I've been looking at. And this is my current watch list, the stocks I'm kind of more closely interested in. You can see only a few in the green, many in the red, Cores, Match.com, and here down about 2 to 2.5%. And then you've got Shutterstock, Twitter, TTMI up a little bit there. The correction of Trump FOMO. You know what? There may be a little bit of reaction on that, but I think the fundamental story is still very strong in the marketplace. And so far, I think you still have to give the benefit of the doubt to the bulls. Absolutely. We've pretty much broken definitively into highs here on the NASDAQ. So you can see right there at 183, we're at 186. While it doesn't sound like a lot, it's quite a bit. 2% in the NASDAQ is a pretty big little run. You can see we kind of had this big a wedge form right there, breaking to the upside. So that it's a dichotomy thing, and this comes down to a judgment call. Could this be a sell signal, a breakout of a rising wedge? Could this be a fake out? Could be. It could be, but I don't think you can necessarily count on that. What's up, Ian? It's going, my friend. It's going. Just kind of watching the market here. Trying a little live stream towards the end of the market session instead of the beginning this time. You bought some triple Qs today on the pullback? Okay. Very nice. Yeah, I'm still holding a bunch of NASDAQ from lower. right there when we crossed the 50-day, right about there. Still holding on to that, not letting it go yet. The selling here not very abrupt, a little bit muted, which is fine. I think it's probably a decent day to probably buy some. Could be a little bit of a trough here forming. You know, we never quite go straight up. We always oscillate. You can see even throughout here we go up, we come down, go up and come down, and then off to the races we go. You know, before you know it, you're in your position a couple of weeks, and then you're basically profitable from there on out. At least if you're buying these indexes. Some of the individual names, you can expect a little bit better price behavior, but not so much out of the indexes. All right, let's see what's not working on my list. Sometimes it's good to take a look at stocks that are kind of languishing and seeing if maybe there's an opportunity. So here's Kron. We looked at them a little bit ago. We had the big down day. This is off a short selling company's. Let me show you the headline here. I won't click on it. So Kronos plunges 30% after Citron short call report of Trump anti-marijuana effort. So Citron is a short selling company. They issue analysis reports, and more than likely they take short positions ahead of entering their reports. And if Citron issues a short report on your company, odds are it goes down right after they issue the report. They have been right on many issues before. Many of the reports turned out to be correct. So they're not necessarily a FUD company, but they can be FUD-ish. All right, so Noah looks like it's been in a downtrend, failed to break out, continuing a downtrend. Hertz Rent-A-Car, which I've been looking at here recently, never did take a position. I actually took one over here on an anticipation trade and got out break even, but never did enter over here and subsequently failed. The breakout here was on low volume. I think I noted that at the time, that the volume is very, very low, and that's why you don't enter on low volume, because this indicates there's no support here. Take a look at Melly, number 3 on our down for the day, the most list, and pretty big red day there. I'm not interested in that pattern. Be avoiding that one. No opportunity there. No opportunity there. ZS, a recent IPO, you can see over here back in March, definitely could do. Could be a decent entry point. The volume here isn't very aggressive, and the market just closed. So not very aggressive on the sell-off here. Could be a decent little entry point if you were kind of missing this. Maybe this is a pullback potential in ZS. We do have earnings coming up. Those are always risky. Momo, a little bit of a lower volume pullback, but it did pull back a little bit. Still above the 50-day moving average. Looking at the NASDAQ, this could just be an intermediate term pullback. So some of these deep in the red could be good. It just depends on the name. So GDS Holdings looks like still above the 50-day moving average after a tremendous rally here. You see that the volume wasn't very aggressive, but many days, looks like 2 weeks or so about just a rally here after earnings. Reaction holding strong GDS. So maybe a little pullback there. Could be a good entry. CAR is Avis Rent-A-Car, kind of goes with Hertz, same industry group there. ZTO, another Chinese name. I think it's Chinese name. And you can see right there the not really interested here, living at lows of this pattern. There's better days ahead for that. SendGrid could be interesting. Broke out here of a flat base, and now you're up 10%, still too extended to get involved, as a matter of fact. Maybe it'll pull back a little bit more. You never want to buy more than 5% out of a proper breakout point, because you're more likely to be whipsawed at that point in time. Monkeytron has the ability to short gold with Bitcoin. I'd have to think about that for a minute. Short gold with Bitcoin while the dollar is rallying in volume and Bitcoin is falling and gold is falling. How does that work out? Maybe I'll give that some thought later, Monkeytron. That's a weird one. Ian's got a portfolio of QQQ, Kron, EV, Fizz, Hertz, and TNA. Okay. So QQQ doing okay. Kron we saw just had a pretty bad day. Not sure how that position is. EV is one that we just noticed here the other day. Looks like a big reaction on earnings. So it could be interesting, but I think a break below this 51.50 level, and you may want to take that off of the table. I also have Fizz. Fizz is working out pretty good. Actually, one of the few that is green. Did it close green? Yeah, 1.8. Oh, there it is. 1.88%. So green, one of the few ones that's Fizz, one of the few ones that's green over here on my screen. And hopefully that can continue going higher, bucking the market trend today. Hopefully that's good for Fizz. Fizz is a very high quality company, very high growth rate stock. They sell fizzy water. Hertz, yeah, I would not be in Hertz, to be honest with you, Ian. It just seems too volatile right now. It's already had a failed breakout on lower volume. Um, that's not something I would like to be involved in, to be honest with you. You don't know how long this stock's going to stay in this low territory, and a failed breakout such as this just says it needs more time. Like I said, I traded it back here. That was back in about a month ago, and it looks like it's still just kind of still needs time. Guys, I'm sorry, I got someone at my door. Hold on a second. All right, sorry about that. Home by myself, got to answer the door. But yeah, not super happy with Hertz right here at all. And TNA is actually a 3 times ETF for the Russell 2000. Basically what this thing does is gives you 3 times the performance of the Russell. Looks like Russell was down about 0.1%, and you can see the TNA having the subsequent down 0.27%. So this would be RUT minus 0.14. So you can see here Russell actually on a little tear. I'm not sure if we get volume. We do not get volume here. Close very similar to the NASDAQ. It's been lagging a little bit behind the NASDAQ, but that's because Amazon and Apple have been really propelling the NASDAQ forward. I don't think there's that much really propelling Russell forward. Monkey Tron, your question was really just short gold. Yeah, I think you probably can short gold. Actually, I have gold up here on my trading view right here. Sitting up here at 1200. Yeah, you probably can. It looks like gold had a little bit of a bottom right here. Has a bear flag. I would probably wait for this bear flag to break to the downside. It looks like it's tried. Oh. Sorry, different charting platform, different keyboard shortcuts. Alright, so I guess it looks like it has broken. So maybe when this rally starts to fizzle out, you can maybe take a short. So it can probably get up to there. I'll have to wait and see. But yeah, possibly if that's something you're interested in. The problem is, you're not going to get huge percentage gains out of this. Make sure your commissions are actually worth it. Even down here towards the lows, you're only looking at 3.3%. Don't trade something just because you can. Trade something because it's worth it. Oh, my chat went away. There it is. What up, Go? How you doing, Go? Alright, so let's keep going with the bottom-up approach here today. So, like I said, ZS on the pullback could be interesting. Maybe it'll give us a little bit more. There are earnings coming up on the 5th, it looks like. Momo, CAR, ZTO, we talked about that. Doesn't look very good. Well below the 50-day moving average. Anytime you buy a stock, you really want it to be above the 50-day moving average. That's, or at least in a base around the 50-day. DocuSign having a pullback here after a very nice movement up out of this pattern here we were talking about, buying that approximately right there. Okay, first time in stocks. Well, thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm doing one a little bit later today just to kind of see if the viewership's a little bit healthier. Maybe the time has to do with it. Plus, if I did it in the afternoon, I wouldn't have to get up at 6 a.m. every day. So, Emmys, no way. Look at that. Pointing at new lows. That is definitely broken. No, Christian, I do not. But I think no commissions is fantastic. I think you should. Actually, my account I trade as a Roth IRA, so it's a retirement account, and Robinhood does not have a retirement account. Or options, I think. I know they don't have a retirement account. I also don't think they have options. So Solar Fund, I'm just going to click through some charts, and if we see something interesting, we'll go ahead and stop. I actually own here. Don't ask me why, because I won't have a smart answer for you. But I have it till January, so I'm kind of letting it go. Here is a smaller cap company. They actually make headsets for gamers, and the reason for all this massive accumulation on the left side of this chart, of course, of Monkeytron, of course, my friend, you can ask whatever you want. You can ask whatever you want. So they've had mass adoption by the gaming community, and I think that has continued. So I'm hoping for another round of buying, hopefully in the next couple of months, to take us higher. I'm willing to take that risk here. So IQ pulling back. IQ here pulling back. We got XON. XON looks fairly interesting, holding up in the sell-off. You can see I have a long trend line in XON. Now these are years. These hash lines are years. So this is 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. You can see we have a higher low in place. Really hugging this trend line. There's a good possibility XON does break out, but I'd have to look at the fundamentals and stuff. But just thought that does look interesting, so I thought I'd mention that. Match.com, one that we saw break here off of earnings, have a huge break, and it's up 9% from the close on the earnings day, and could be a place to get involved in a pullback, but it's still very extended. Actually, maybe not so much your traditional buy point. Let's see, is this a double bottom? This is not a double bottom, so your buy point would be here, so it's not that extended. You can buy, like I said earlier, within about 5%, and there we are at 51, so you're well within the buy point. So yeah, there you go. And if you guys are liking the stream, hit that like button, guys. That'd be very, very nice. I know a lot of you guys probably hear from Real Crypto. Other guys, if you are not, please hit the like button. Share the videos, subscribe to the channel. That would be fantastic. Thank you very much. And I'm going to keep going. We got YY. Ew. Wow. Wow. Stock trading platform, Monkeytron. So it depends. If you have under $10,000, I would probably say there's a few of them. None of them are really better than the others. You really want to you want to pay the least amount of commission. So Interactive Brokers, if you have more than 10 grand, but Eli said they recently lowered their minimum requirements. So look at Interactive Brokers. They have $1 stock trades, which is fantastic. A lot like Fidelity has $5 stock trades, which is pretty good. Ameritrade has, I think, $7 or $8 stock trades, which is getting worse, and I would not pay more than $7 ever to trade a stock. I really would like to trade in Interactive Brokers if you can, but their platform is just garbage. It's the user interface is so horrible. Try to avoid that if you can. But you have to deal with it with commission. So HCC here not looking too bad. Getting supported at the 200-day, below the 50-day. If volume can pick up and get above that trend line, that could get interesting. Yandex, This is a uranium play that we saw it over here. Someone mentioned it. I think we saw it here, but anyway, off to the races right there. Lumber Liquidators, MDB. Baba not looking so great. Cores pulling back here in very light volume. Maybe could be a decent place to enter. Only about 3% above a buy point in Cores. Foot Locker has been whipsawing around. Not really a fan of that. OGRMF is another marijuana stock company. It trades over-the-counter exchanges, so depending on your exchange, you may not be able to get it, or they may limit your exposure to it. But look at that day. Cron down 20%. OGRMF actually looking fairly good right here. I guarantee you it's extended, but going from 2.6 to $5 on a chart here is also pretty extended. All right, URI, United Rentals. When hurricanes come, they make money, and you can see them holding above this longer downward trend line nicely on lower volume. This could get going in the next weeks to months. LAD, GRFS. I just blew past Nike. Don't know if that's warranted or not. MDCO, I forget what they do, but we were tracking them back in the day. Looks like they had a breakout day yesterday. Volume was not, or was it high enough for a breakout? 745. Come on. Not quite high enough for a breakout, but pretty good volume, and today getting a pullback on more modest volume. So it could be good for a little bit of a pullback entry here if you miss the entry on MDCO if you're interested. Now, I do want to preface, not everything on my watch list is completely actionable. You should do your own research and make sure the company's fundamentally sound. I don't have time to do that for all these here today, but then we're getting into the ones that aren't really down as much, that are just kind of floundering about. CVNA, Manitowoc, they do crane rentals. ANET, Arista Network, had a big pop the other day and subsequently pulling back and having a pretty good bottoming day today. So this is actually buyable right there via a gap rule. Control 4 after a huge run. Potentially just kind of settling in here. Coming back into well within the gap day. Restoration Hardware is one I've been watching for a while. Having a pretty good day today. Earnings is coming up very soon though, 9/4. That's going to, Tuesday of next week? Tuesday of next week. That's going to be difficult to try to hold through earnings. Earnings are always a gamble. This time the gamble paid off. You never know what's going to happen. But retail's been pretty strong lately. All right, so there's Race's Ferrari. And you can see they were doing really well. They broke out at 42. Went all the way up to 150. It's a 300% gain. Looks like they had a base and had some choppy action. Now they finally pulled back in higher volume. Trying to form a base right here. Been trying to keep an eye on them. Boeing, a stock I traded back here and loved every minute of it. Forming a very nice large ascending triangle. And in time this could get going. That's ideally what you want, is that in time this will end up going higher. Maybe towards the fourth quarter. We'll have to wait and see. There's more time needed there. SIVB looks interesting. RXN needs to be hitting those highs instead of trying to break down. Paycom, man. Guys, remember the Paycom breakout? Were you guys here for that? Right there. Boom. 31%. Should have bought my option. I did not. I'm retarded. Beautiful breakout out of a double bottom. Gapped up to the breakout point and off to the races. So sometimes you got to click the button, guys. Ooh, Cisco. Cisco, one I mentioned a few days ago, looks like it's slowly been working. Hasn't been hitting the top of my list, but you can see it's been working. Volume's been increasing, which is healthy. The action today looks very good. This could be a pullback buy for Cisco. My day job, Christian, this is what I do. I just kind of do this. I don't day trade. My Crypto Power Hour helps out a lot, and I do have side jobs that I do. So I kind of do a myriad of things. But Power Hour helps out. Helps out a lot. Actually makes the majority of my income right now. And my side jobs kind of do the rest of it. And starting another business here coming up shortly, which you probably won't hear a lot about. But if you hear me shilling mortgages, you'll know why. What's up, Christina? You just started trading stocks. Good job. So it's a good time. We're in a bull market, and I would start by saying join the Power Hour in the morning if you can, unless I switch it to the afternoon here. Oh, my Twitter trade? Yeah, what do you want to know about that one? Yeah, it's regarding earnings, not really evaluations. Maybe they call them earnings. It did not work out. That trade pretty much destroyed a lot of gains. It depends on the market. So it's the same thing in stocks and crypto, one leg at a time while keeping the market cycle in mind. The market cycle is bullish, so more things are going to work out. And so in a bull market, everything kind of works out, and it's the same in crypto, right? When we're in a bull market, a lot of things work out. When we're not in a bull market, things are a little more dicey. Ah, gotcha. So my Twitter trade. So I'm pretty sure. Is everyone here from Real Crypto? I think everyone here is from Real Crypto. So my Twitter trade. So here's the Twitter trade, and this is just um, they say bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. I was a pig on this trade. Okay, I was a pig. I'll have to go back and see exactly where I entered, but I know I have some entrances from February after this gap up. Um, I may even have a smaller trade from before the gap up. I don't remember exactly, but I entered a couple times here. I sold before it dropped, and then I re-entered over here, I think. I don't remember exactly. But when we were up here, I was up like, I think 200% in my options on Twitter. I mean, I was up a tremendous amount in Twitter. And it was a sizable position for me. So I was up pretty huge. And we were going through earnings. I had a big gain, so I'm like, okay, the general rules state you can hold a stock through earnings if you have a large gain. I did have an outsized gain, but I should not have held through earnings. This is an option. This is not a stock, and I kind of had my blinders on, and Twitter's a great. I think it's turning the tide, right? Twitter's turning the tide from becoming. So let's look at earnings here. You can see at the bottom, these are the earnings: 17 cents, 16 cents, 19 cents, 1 cent, 8 cent, 11 cents. And it was kind of chugging along here, and then it started to accelerate a little bit, and things were getting better. And Facebook actually had a gap down 3 days earlier, and that should have been my warning sign to get out. I just should have sold it when Facebook gapped down. I mean, I had a warning shot. I didn't listen to it, and it turned a very lucrative position into a hugely negative position. What's up, R. Pete? So at this point in time, I'm down like 70%, and when I was up like 150 to 200%, just on a dumb, very, very dumb, very greedy position management. I should have taken some profits when I was up over 100%, maybe let some ride through earnings. If I wanted to do that, that would have been a healthy thing to do. But I did not do that, and I got fucked. And it's my fault. It's not Twitter's fault. It's not the market's fault. It's my fault. And that's how it is. Am I mad? No. Am I a little peed off? Absolutely. But I'm not mad. It's just a situation where I knew better, and I broke rules, and I paid the price. But luckily, I had other positions that were doing good, and kind of saved a majority of what I had in my account. And I'm back to a good point right now. Twitter's regained a little bit, hasn't regained a lot. I have other positions that are up, significantly that are bringing me back to almost break even to where I was when Twitter dumped. So I'm doing okay. I'm maintaining, but and that's one thing about not putting all of your eggs in one basket. The problem is this was a big basket for me. This was a huge part of my account, probably the biggest. Well, actually, it was the biggest holding I had. I even added to the position. Anyway, just a complete mismanagement of the trade. And this is why, charting isn't everything. Charting is a lot of it, but at the same time, you have to manage the trade correctly. Because as you can see here, I had a great gain, and due to mismanagement, I wiped it out. Just simply due to mismanagement. That's it. I mean, technically, it's not good. It needs a lot of time to come back. But at the same time, I don't know. Is what it is at that point. PAYTM. Now? What's going on with now? Is it an after hours thing? Oh, I'm not talking about it now. What are you talking about? What's up, Eli? No, Monkeytron asked me to walk through my Twitter trade that was a huge disaster. It was a great success, turned into a huge disaster. I feel it's like the Hindenburg. You know, we took off, went really high, and just crashed and burned slowly. And someone filmed it going, "Oh my gosh!" Just confused about the stream. What? Well, told you I was thinking about doing one kind of around the market close, and ended up doing one around the market close. I happen to be here. I'm like, I got some time, so I figured I'd do one real quick. Yeah, the humanity. There you go. Well, Monkeytron, of course I can be angry when I mess up. Of course I can be angry. Like I said, it was a rule, and I broke the rule. I got greedy. It's just a simple factor of greed. And look, when you're up huge, take some money off the table, let the rest ride, and go about your business. If I would have held 25% through this, I'd be sitting golden right now. You know, I'd be sitting golden. If I held 25%, sold the rest of it, I'd have another, 30% in my account. Yeah, it's pretty much what it would be. Live and learn, ladies and gentlemen. Live and learn. So, it pays to stay true to your strategies, and it pays to listen to your rules because they're there for a reason. And you wrote them. No one else wrote them. Fortnite is influencing you in more spontaneous ways. No, this is well before Fortnite. I only started Fortnite a couple of weeks ago. Nothing crazy. Price targets for Amazon? No, not really. I don't do price targets, RP. Not from a macro perspective like this. Amazon is such a crazy company that it's just going. There's nothing negative about this chart. Zero. I mean, it's not even super aggressive from a parabolic standpoint. This thing could hit $5,000 by the time it gets done. It really could. I mean, I'm just saying. It checks every box, similar to Apple, right? It just checks every box. What do you mean hold it? I went long S&P as soon as it broke all-time high around 2874. Yeah, so it depends. Is this a trade or is this like a retirement thing? Because I do not trade the indexes. I will trade stocks. I won't trade the indexes. There's not enough money in it, to be honest with you. Now, if you're going to invest in like your 401k, where it's a longer term investment that you're not going to, touch for very long, I think, yeah, buy it and hold it. Nothing wrong with the market right now. You don't know. So, yeah, well, first of all, you need to identify a goal, and we talk a little bit about that. Not so much, but you need to know what you're trading for, right? Like, what are you trading for? Are you trading for retirement? Are you trading to go on a vacation? Are you trading a boat? Um, it just kind of depends. And oh wow, Ethereum had a nice bounce. Look at that. Not bad. But yeah, so I think you need to know why you're trading. Is it retirement? Are you trading for something? And then you can manage trades accordingly, right? Like if you're gonna do it for retirement, make sure it's in a retirement account, a Roth IRA or an IRA. Make sure you get the tax benefits out of it, and then you can trade it for a longer term. If you're gonna trade for like a boat or something, then that's like a different type of a situation. No, it did not avoid my stop. It actually hit my stop, and I was watching it in case it did something like this, and it just looks like it moved without me here. So, tis what it is. Bitcoin has no volume. Ethereum, though, has some volume. Just looking to see if I want to jump back in or wait for a pullback on Ethereum or what I want to do here. Figures it rallied right when I started my damn stream over here. No, that's cool. I think most of the people here are from real crypto anyways, so it's pertinent. It's all good. But yeah, so first identify if it's for retirement, and then if it's for and then after that, if you want to trade another account for something else, you can trade multiple accounts for different reasons. Just know why you're trading. That's all. Good place to short ETH. CGC, Cron, and Bison. All right, let's look at CGC. So yeah, keep in mind, was it Cron just had that big crazy 30% downside move on that Citron report, but some of these other MJ stocks didn't really come down. We just have a nice little dealio right there, little doji close, if you will. Not too bad. Just holding tight right there. It needs a few days to kind of show where it wants to go, I think. Hopefully that'll calm these marijuana stocks down, give everyone a chance to think for a minute. They've just been in such an uptrend the past week or two. And then you had Cron. Yeah, so Cron down at 9.12 after being towards 13 is, I think, a pretty decent value down here. The whole Citron report, I haven't read it yet, so I don't even know if I will. But it may be an overreaction. And then you've got Bison. Yeah, so Bison not looking so hot. Looks like a series of lower highs breaking this trend line. Maybe it's got a channel here or something. Maybe. But this is an avoid for me. It's very wide and loose right here. I'd like it higher and the action be a lot tighter. Bison not looking so great. BRTX, my brother told me to invest in it. Well, no. Oh, well, that's weird. Biorestorative therapies. Does he work there? Or did he just find this on a forum somewhere? Those are pretty much your options. Either he works there and he has insider knowledge, or he just found it on a forum somewhere. I found, blanket buying these very, very risky. While they do have a potential for large upside, they also have a potential to lose a bunch. I actually have some in my account from when I was trading stuff like this, long time ago. And it just got so worthless, it made more sense just to leave it there than it did actually to sell it. Looks like most of them have been removed from my account. Good. cleared it out. Like I've got Integral Technologies that I really liked, and it's just like you look at this thing, it's just decimated, down 97.99%. I've had this for years, since probably before this, like a long time ago, and it just continues to go lower. I'm down 97.99%. My cost was 223. It's not even on this chart. I mean, it was way up here, wherever that was. So they can go lower. All these little tiny guys. Be very wary of them. Very, very small positions. Facebook. Let's look at Facebook. Haven't looked at Facebook too much. So Facebook tried to rally back early on after the massive gap and then failed. So it's kind of stuck in a little thing right here. It almost looks like a weirdly malformed diamond bottom, to be honest with you. I mean, it's kind of really kind of a weird, come on, click. Kind of a weirdly formed diamond bottom. The best case scenario here is an island bottom. That would be really nice if it gaps back up to here. That'd be sweet. Don't think that's happening, though. Don't think that's really happening, though. So, it's looking okay, though. It's looking okay, though. You know, I think a lot of these reactions are a little bit overblown. Until it starts impacting earnings, I don't think there's a lot to do. But on the last earnings call, which is why this big gap occurred, Mark Zuckerberg said that it could start impacting earnings because they're doing a huge revamp. Could I do this after the power hour? I could. The problem is we run the power hour between, 1 and 2, sometimes 3 hours. So it's really hard to pick a time. I would really have to cut the power hour shorter. Or, or contain it. Albert says, do I offer courses? You know what? I kind of stopped trying. Honestly, I have a very difficult time putting that much of my brain into a form where other people could consume, and I feel okay about selling that product, to be honest with you. And we've talked recently about doing kind of like a live interaction, kind of like a classroom setting, like a virtual classroom. That I will probably be doing, but I don't have everything ready for that yet. And I've been working on other things. So I would like to get that done at some point in time, but I don't have an ETA for you on that, unfortunately. But I will say this: I do have the power hour for crypto, which we go over quite a bit of stuff, and you're welcome to ask any number of questions you want in there, Albert. So if you really do want to learn TA, it's the same in crypto as it is in stocks. Basically, there's a few differences, but in the end, they're generally about the same. Stocks have a much more stricter criteria. It's like when we talk about a cup with handle in crypto and a cup with handle in stocks, there's much stricter criteria in stocks than there is in crypto. Other than that, most of the signals are very similar. You cannot contain the power hour. There's too much power. I know. I can't even contain it to an hour. It's like the 2-hour power hour is pretty much what it is these days. I mean, I'm pretty much admitting we're going to go from 9 to 11 every day. There's some days I gotta cut it short at an hour, but it is what it is. Give me a week off to do the courses, to set up the syllabuses and stuff. I shouldn't need time off to do that. I really just need to sit down and do it, to be honest with you. I've been working on some other things, some personal things, and it just hasn't manifested itself. I don't know. I think just to be honest with you guys, the power hour does a lot. I get a lot out, like in my head, like it's kind of a brain dump for me, and then I'm kind of void after that, if that makes sense. Like I'm a human being, I need to rest and do other things, and Eli makes fun of that I play Fortnite now, but I was so caught up in my head I couldn't really think. And I started playing Fortnite. Actually, it has helped me calm down a little bit more, just getting into a different headspace. But just being so much charting so often between cryptos and stocks, it's been, I don't know, it's been just too much in my head at once. So, but anyway, I know people are looking for that, and I really apologize that I don't have that. It's pretty shitty of me, to be honest with you. I know Ted was looking for that for a long time, and um, yeah, you know, I just it's hard for me to sit down and make content like that. That's not me. It's very difficult for me to do that. Anyway, well, no, I do want to get the courses done. I think there's so much, like I've got some stuff there. It's just not like complete. Like I've got a here. I'll show it to you guys. I mean, there's only a few people here, but I'll show it to you. Like I wrote these a while back. Um, I actually gave Ted access to it because he's been asking me for a long time. Like here, just go through it. Let me know what you think. I think he stopped doing it. Um, but these are the courses I put up. I got, you know, if you're a new investor, different markets to trade, money management strategies, trading psychology, charting 101, charting 202, volumes, you know, so a course strictly on volume, charting indicators, trading strategies, cryptos versus stocks, trading for a living, because a lot of people have questions about that. And then inside of these is just a bunch. There's like 220 different things, and I have some information in here. I guess maybe I just need some aren't quite finished, like I didn't finish exchanges, but like there's so much crap. Like I talk about the greats. Like I really want to give you guys and people generally a holistic view of the markets, not just a strategy that works for me. Because this is the thing, like people take these courses. Like I know Crown's got his $1,300 course and he teaches you something, but maybe that course doesn't work for someone. You know, I really want to give people a holistic view of the markets, um, and you know, so this, and obviously this is based on on crypto, Binance, BitMEX, CoinSwaps, other exchanges, exchange. So I have a framework here built out. It's just really, it's, and so another thing is like a lot of these are text based, and Ted was kind of taken aback by that. And I get it, but I thought, you know, it's like a textbook type of scenario. So I'd have to go back and redo all these 212 in terms of videos because I think a lot of people would be turned off by this. So what's a stop loss? Normal stops, max drawdown stops, then there's profit taking strategies. You know, so I tell you why you need to secure profits because some people it doesn't click why you need to secure your profits, you know? I'm trying to address questions before they rise up. Trailing stops, trend line breaks, moving averages, all things we talk about, guys, you know? Profit taking strategies. We talk about trailing stops a little bit. We talk about trend line breaks. We talk about moving averages, percentage gains, different selling signals. You know, putting it all together. So complete strategies, how to make it your own. You know, how to walk through this thing that is trading because it's not just one thing. It's many things. Long-term portfolio strategies, short-term portfolio strategies. Looks like I'm still working on that. So I mean, it's pretty in depth. I go, you know, trading psychology. This is meant to be like a college course, to be honest with you. You know, herd mentality, you know, individual psychology. You know, talk about fear a little bit. Talk about strategy rules, rule-based trading, trade like a robot. Why rules are important. You know, there's just a shitload of information in here. You know, charting 10. This is charting 101. You know, does charting work? So, I mean, it's just a shit ton of stuff, and I'm not even done brain dumping. This could be 400 courses by the time I'm done, and it just started rolling onto itself, and it's just piling out. So, you know, go a little bit about charting indicators. I don't do a lot of indicator stuff, but a lot of people ask about it. So, you know, I kind of dove deeper into relative strength, Fibonacci's, MACDs, a little bit on Bollinger Bands. I was going to do something on Elliott waves. Every other indicator ever because there's like a million of them, and then trading strategies, risk tolerance, time frames, buying strategies, selling strategies, trading journal, which is important, strategy versus your brain. Like, I tend to hold a lot of stuff in my brain and don't actually have a strategy. And obviously I don't teach you guys that. And I know that sucks because, like Twitter, that's kind of that was a brain strategy. Buying on strength, buying on weakness. So again, trying to give you guys options. Hey, like Bob would buy on weakness. That's fantastic. I buy on strength. That's fantastic. Counter trend trading. I mean, it's just a myriad of shit. And then trading for a living. Money required strategies. Are you a robot? So, for those of you that just kind of figure I'd show you, I guess, a little bit. Teach me what's in your brain. Oh, that would take a long time. That would take a long time. Yeah, something like that, Brandon, in terms of like Real Trader, I mean, I've thought about that. I could do that. I haven't. The reason it's Real Crypto is because I got the website name. I mean, if one of you guys buy this, I'm going to be pissed. But like, if Real Trader's available, I may do that. It may be out there. I don't know. Oh, Real Trader's taken. $18,500. You can go fuck yourself. That's way too much. But that's one of the reasons why it's Real Crypto. You got to make sure you have a good domain name. Maybe it's not that important because my audience kind of knows me and doesn't find me through the www. So maybe I can do something like that. Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to shoehorn anyone into my strategy, Christina, because it's not for everyone. It's absolutely not for everyone. Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot pocket pivots. Those would be in there. I think I have pocket pivots in there. Pocket pivots. Wow, it just shows that, huh? Okay, I guess I don't have pocket pivot in there. That's an oversight. I'll have to put that in there. No, I do not trade for a living. I do not live off trading income. No, my goal with my trading is to accumulate capital. I don't actually live off of my trades. It's just I accumulate. That's what I do. So I don't commingle my trading and my living expenses. That's something I do not do. If I do that, I trade horribly. So I've got I've got my living money and I've got my trading money, and maybe one day I may do that, but that day's not today. So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to get out of here. You guys got any last minute questions? The stock market's doing pretty good. Today's kind of one of those weird days, but Facebook did pretty good. Twitter held up pretty good, which I'm really happy about, as you can imagine. My goal with Twitter is to get down only losing 30% of my money. That's kind of how I think that's going to play out if I'm lucky. If I'm incredibly lucky. Like if this rallies in the next 2 months, I may get out only losing 30%. We'll have to wait and see there. WHD was a stock I saw today that I thought had really good potential. You can see here, really bucking the trend. It's up 2.31% on my list. That would put it very close to the top. Actually, it is. It's already on my list. It's fourth from the top. Am I a typo on my website? Yeah, I'm sure you'll find one. I did it, so I built the website, so I'm sure there's at least a couple typos. Oh, yep. There you go. Other exchanges. If that's the only typo, I think I'll be okay. But yeah, WHD, I actually really like that. Let me look at that real quick since I'm here with you guys. And if you guys do have any more questions, please feel free to ask them. I usually with stocks go to investors.com. I kind of live there. They have good fundamental and technical stuff. And yeah, I love investors.com. It's my favorite thing. I even pay for it. So let's look at WHD. I'll kind of show you what these mean for some of you guys that don't have IBD. So IBD has the stock checkup where you can go here and they actually have proprietary rankings and ratings for stuff, and they show you a little chart down below, show you news articles. It's pretty fun. They show you supply and what they view as supply and demand, technical performance, sales margin and return on equity, annual earnings, and current earnings. So current earnings, look at that, up 109 and 664% for the last 3 quarters. That's gangbusters. And then 109% for the last quarter. 104% EPS change for the current year. That's great, guys. Sales, 69%. This is awesome. And it looks like that. Wow. See, this is how you make money in stocks. And that's why the book is called How to Make Money in Stocks, because, I mean, this is how you do it. Pre-tax margin, 20%. 3-year sales growth rate, pretty good. Not sure what that's about. Good average volume, good market cap. Accumulation distribution, D plus leaves some to be desired. Up-down volume only at 0.9. One up-down volume indicates even. What that is that they take like the previous 13 weeks, I think. Yeah, here's the pop-up. 50-day ratio is derived by dividing the total volume of up days by the total volume in the down days. It's a simple, kind of a simple moving average for volume, and 1 equals even, so 0.9 is not that great, but 28% in funds, 28% change in funds owning stock, and that's from the prior quarter. So, yeah, I mean, that looks fantastic. So we have a few red dots, but nothing. So this red dot implies that it only grew 100% instead of 200%. So earnings are decelerating slightly into only the stratosphere. And looks like the EPS didn't grow or grew last year, but not by much. So, you know, even the red stuff isn't that bad. And so, yeah, WHD, I kind of like that. I really like that, actually, to be quite honest with you. Let's see what the options market has to say about it. Now, I do actually trade primarily options in my retirement account. So, there you go. Options, and I hold the NASDAQ, 3 times the NASDAQ ETF. All right, WHD. And I always give us a 20% target. In line with IBD, that puts us at 45. And not too shabby. You got to go out to February to get a 100% gainer. Just got to see if it happens before November, you're going to get more than that. So, see how that plays out. So, I'll take a look at this offline here. But WHD breaking that little declining trend line. Volume was increasing a little bit. No real red here so I kind of like that one. This is probably my stock of the day, I would say, to be honest with you. It looks really good. Also, VMware looks pretty good too. Look at VMware. It actually has a pretty big cup with a handle. You'd think it looks funny because it does, because it had that. That's a crazy day, especially for VMware. I think it was up 13% and closed up 3%. Wow. But, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. There you go. So I'm going to leave you with VMware, and then I'm going to leave you with WHD. Those are 2 that are looking pretty good right here. So, all right, guys, see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Investors, you say can't suffix dot or com. Messages denied. Yes, investors. I just typed it into chat for you there, Monkeytron. Yep. All right, guys. See you later.